The Penn State Nittany Lions may have the most interesting offense in the Big Ten. Now, we wouldn't have said that a year ago. No way. So, what's going on? Let's talk about it. Locked On Big Ten starts right now.
You are Locked On Big Ten, your daily podcast on the Big Ten Conference. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
I want to thank you for checking out Locked On Big Ten and welcome aboard. I'm Craig Sheeman, coming up on 40 years as a sports talk show host and a play-by-play announcer. We are here for you every single day. We're free and available wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. And we're brought to you by Ultimate College Football Head Coach. It's a brand new mobile game that is completely free, has no ads, and 100% playable offline. Use the promo code LOCKEDONCFB, all caps, inside the game store to receive a free boost to your program. Begin your coaching legacy today. All right, Penn State's explosive offense. We will discuss. Plus, more Big Ten news. And I want to look back at Ohio State's quarterback situation and Tuesday tweets. You guys are on fire. Have all that coming up. But first, Penn State, the Nittany Lions. Look, they've been good for a long time under James Franklin. Unfortunately for him, Penn State has been very good in an era in which Michigan and Ohio State have been very, very good for a long time. And until last year, both of those schools were in the same division as Penn State, and they would be the only teams that could beat Penn State. And they did regularly. So something had to change. Late last year, it did. James Franklin went a different direction with his offense. He hired Andy Kotelnicki as his new offensive coordinator, a guy who had a reputation for never showing the same formations twice, a lot of pre-snap motion, and doing as many things as possible to keep defenses on their heels when the ball was snapped. So far, so good from what I saw. Basically, he made Penn State's offense unpredictable to opposing defenses. I mean, facing Michigan and Ohio State last year, those were the top two defenses in the country, not just the Big Ten. By the way, Penn State was right behind them at number 3, third best. They were elite in and of themselves. But again, these defenses were elite, and they pretty much knew what Penn State was going to do offensively or not do offensively. That's the important part. They had an incredible advantage over the Nittany Lions. They knew that Penn State was not going to throw deep. They just weren't last year. So they crowded the box. So Penn State quarterback Drew Allar, very talented kid, right? Did some things well last year, even though there were a lot of people complaining. For example, he does a great job taking care of the football. He does not turn it over. He had 2 interceptions last season. And the problem was, I think he was coached to take care of the ball under any circumstance. And therefore, that's what he did. He didn't take any chances downfield. He didn't stretch the defenses at all. Whether he didn't go deep or couldn't go deep might be two different things, but opposing defenses didn't have to worry about any deep 50-yard chunk plays last year, particularly from wide receivers or anything like that. So Penn State's offense became very compact, spatially speaking. They were easier to defend. So it was with a great deal of anticipation that Nittany Lions fans and myself gathered Saturday to watch that opener against West Virginia, because this year promised to be different, and it was. Admittedly, after a slow start in the game, they had an early fumble. They had a quick 3-and-out, had a punt. Not a great start. But then the Penn State offense started to take shape. Boom, 4-play, 84-yard drive and a score. Drew Allar, a 50-yard touchdown pass to Harrison Wallace III. Okay. All right, we didn't see that a lot last year. That's cool. Like I said, 50-yard chunk plays did not happen last year at Penn. In fact, they had 3 of them all year. Right out the bat, the first score, 50 yards. That looked good. Their next drive was an impressive 10-play, 71-yard drive. Both Drew Allar and backup Bo Pribula ran for some first downs in there. And on the 10th play of the drive, it's perfectly designed with Katron Allen coming out of the backfield, caught a pass on the fly, boom, 20-yard score. All right. That looked cool, a little creative. 13-0 is the score at this point. But how about the hurry up drive at the end of the half? I think that's what I was most impressed about in that entire game. Just a quick 3-play, 73-yard drive, 26 seconds downfield, and another 50-plus yard play. Drew Allar ended up hitting Omari Evans for 55 yards and a first down to set everything up. And then just an absolute beautiful pass play from Drew Allar. And this is really highlighting some of his arm talent that I think we kind of forgot about a little bit last year. Just a perfectly placed ball to Harrison Walls III for an 18-yard touchdown before the end of the half, and Penn State goes in for the lead 20-6. I was impressed. I know a lot of you were too. Then came a 2-hour weather delay at halftime. So everybody sat in the locker room and, you could get stale, you could get complacent. To Penn State's credit, they didn't. They came out sharp in the second half, put together a 9-play, 78-yard drive right at the beginning. Nicholas Singleton with the 40-yard run to score, another method of scoring. So everybody getting involved in this offense. Now, Penn State did cool off a little bit at this point. They punted on their next 2 drives. But then they managed another long-distance drive, 6 plays, 70 yards. Bo Peru coming in and throwing a touchdown pass, so he got some playing time as well, both halves of this football game. So in total, we got long plays, we got short plays, we got multiple weapons, highlighting everybody, long drives, quick strike drives. Penn State did it all on Saturday, and being the first game where they led most of the game after the slow start. They were in the lead. So I'm pretty sure Andy Kotelnicki didn't go too deep into the playbook. That didn't put a whole lot on film for other people to check out. What I'm saying is I think there's more cool stuff to come. So that's pretty good. Didn't want to put too much on film for other people. So as far as I'm concerned, Andy Kotelnicki, he can keep slowly easing into the back of that extensive playbook a little bit, although he's not going to really probably have to do too much anytime soon. Saturday, Penn State hosts Bowling Green. They got a bye week, and then they take on Kent State. And then the Big Ten opener is until September 28th, where they will host Illinois and then UCLA. Certainly winnable games. Their first real big test will be October 12th on the road at the Coliseum, facing the USC Trojans, who, by the way, served notice on Sunday night. They look pretty good against LSU in a nationally televised game. They're going to be for real, too. Hey, who knows? Maybe Penn State and USC will get into a little bit of a shootout. I mean, Penn State has relied on its strong defense and just, look, their offense hasn't been horrible the past couple of years. It just hasn't been that dynamic. They've won a lot of games, but nobody ever talks about being explosive and just crazy and running up scores and all this kind of stuff. But maybe against USC, it'll be a higher scoring game. I don't know. I saw a pretty good USC team. Can't wait for that one. I mean, a lot of people have October 12th circled on their calendar because that's the day that Ohio State goes over to Oregon at Autzen Stadium. That's a big one. But after what I saw the first weekend, both out of Penn State and their offense and USC against LSU, I think that might be the second marquee game of that day. Certainly we'll be all over it here on Locked On Big Ten. Nevertheless, Nittany Lion fans, let me know what you thought. It's just one game against West Virginia, which they beat them pretty handily last year too. In fact, Drew Allar threw for over 300 yards in that game as well. But I think West Virginia is a better football team than they were last year, and this was a road game for Penn State. And so I'd like to hear what you think. Hit me up on the comments. You know where we're at. You can find us on Twitter, X, at Talk Big Ten. Also comments back and forth on YouTube as well. And don't forget our website, talkbig10.com. That's the number 10, talkbig10.com. There's email there if you want to reach out directly. All of our podcasts go there chronologically, and then we group them by school. So since we started talking about Penn State, this will go under Penn State. With all the other ones, we've kind of featured Penn State. And while you're there, get some Penn State gear for the upcoming season. Get some white shirts for the whiteout. Get shirts, pennants, hats, all that stuff. TalkBig10.com. We would love to have you check us out over there. All right. Now, I would also like to ask you to subscribe. It's gone crazy the past month. Over 1,000 new subscribers. We just started with a little over 1,000 last summer. Crossed over 10,000 subscribers about a month ago. But then the last like in the last month. It was just a hard push. Thank you very much. Like 1,000 new ones. We keep growing by leaps and bounds. Thank you to you. But if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe and follow, unlock, and then share. We're asking everybody, whether you subscribe or not, to share this with somebody you know that likes Big Ten. Because a lot of people still don't know we're out here every single day, wherever you get your podcast. But if you subscribe and share and follow, you'll get the latest episode of this podcast as soon as it becomes available each and every day. In the meantime, cover some Big Ten news. Did anyone notice that former Ohio State quarterback Kyle McCord had a pretty awesome day for Syracuse on Saturday? We'll compare notes between McCord and Will Howard and Ohio State. People are talking. And by the way, Fran Brown, the head coach at Syracuse, had a message for Ryan Day for letting Kyle McCord go. We'll have all that. I'll tell you what it is in 1 minute right here on Locked On Big Ten. You ever dream of being a college football coach? Well, Ultimate College Football Head Coach is for you. All you Locked On Big Ten fans, you can do this. Pretend you're the head coach of your favorite school. It's an amazing game. It's a simulation, and you step into the shoes of a head coach and lead your college football program to glory. And you can do all kinds of things. You can recruit players. You can hire your staff. You can handle scholarships and nil and all that kind of stuff out there. All the pressure just piled up in addition to calling plays. So you can check that out. Ultimate College Football Head Coach, completely free. No ads, 100% playable offline, and you can play on the go wherever you want to. So I got a special offer for you. For all of you Locked On Big Ten fans out there, the promo code LOCKEDONCFB, Locked On CFB, all caps, inside the game store to receive a free boost to your program. And you can make sure you take advantage of this perk, as it'll get your team off to a strong start. So download the game, visit ultimate-cfb.com. That's ultimate-cfb.com, or look it up in the app stores. It is Ultimate College Football Head Coach. Begin your coaching legacy today. Want to thank you for making Locked On Big Ten your first listen each and every day, especially you everydayers out there. Meanwhile, be sure to subscribe and follow and share and like Locked On Big Ten, your team every day, and visit our website, talkbig10.com. And also, there's a lot of other Locked On college products out there. Each school, Locked On College Football. There's a podcast there that covers our 4 major conferences. We do previews of the upcoming week each and every week. Look out for those: ACC, Big Ten, SEC, Big 12. It's all out there each and every week. I'm involved in, obviously, the Big Ten group, the squad, if you will. Be sure to check it out. Locked On College on YouTube or the Amazon Fire TV, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. All right, former Ohio State quarterback Kyle McCord spent 2 seasons with the Buckeyes backing up the great C.J. Stroud, so he really didn't get to play, and then he finally got his chance to lead the Buckeyes last year. All in all, I thought he was good. He went 11-1. He threw for over 3,000 yards and 23 touchdown passes. Almost every coach and every fan base in the country would take that from their starting quarterback. If you said going into the season, here's what your guy's going to do, almost everybody would take that. The problem was he threw an interception in the 4th quarter in Ann Arbor against Michigan, and they lost the game. Boom, that's it. That play sunk his career. Really not fair, I know, but that's how things are. So 1 pass got him jettisoned, but that's life in Columbus, Ohio. Shortly after the season, McCord entered the transfer portal, and after much consideration, surprised many, myself included, and chose Syracuse for his next landing spot. Well, in Syracuse's season opener against Ohio, he had maybe the best statistical game he's ever had. 27 of 39 passes, 354 yards, and 4 touchdown passes in a 38-22 win. Very good. Syracuse coach Fran Brown is thrilled to have him. In fact, he said McCord was so good that Brown should give Ryan Day a bottle of champagne, allowing him to get McCord. Loves having him. Love the fact that the Buckeyes gave him up. Meanwhile, how did Ryan Day feel about McCord's replacement, Will Howard, after the Buckeyes' debut against Akron? I mean, they won 52-6. You wouldn't think there'd be too much to really pick apart there. What could be said about it? Well, Day said that he wanted to do a deeper dive into the game film and properly assess the quarterback play before he talks about it further. But in a thumbnail, he thought that Howard showed poise and, with one exception, took care of the football all day. And they seem more concerned about his interior offensive lineman in the first half. That's something else they're trying to get better at. But on the day, Howard completed 17 of 28 passes for 228 yards, and he threw 3 touchdown passes. Fine. It's against Akron. That's what you need to do, right? While I think Howard is very capable to lead this offense, call him game manager, whatever you want to do, they can win. They can run the table with this guy at quarterback. So don't get me wrong. But my big knock on Howard is that he has a 4-year track record at Kansas State where he only and consistently only completes just 59% of his passes. He's not that accurate. So do the math on Saturday. 17 of 28. 61%. That's basically this. He's still the same guy. It's not that great. And that's against Akron. Okay? That's not against the Michigan defense. It's not against an Iowa defense. It's not against Oregon's front seven. 61% against Akron. Again, that's what he's done for 4 years. 59% pass, 59, 61. Not much difference in that. He did run the ball 4 times for 18 yards, and that's an element I think you and Chip Kelly and all, I think everybody's going to see more of that moving forward. The Buckeyes host Western Michigan Saturday night. Just a point of concern, just lobbing it out there. By the way, what did Ryan Day think about Chip Kelly, his new offensive coordinator, right? After all, that was a pretty big deal for Ryan Day to hand off the play calling duties for the first time and give it to somebody else. But overall, Day said he was happy. He liked how Kelly continued to push the run. Thought Kelly called a good game. And he also noticed that he noted that a continuous dedication to the run game means you're probably not going to throw 70 points on the scoreboard. They got across 50, but that's still a lot. Ohio State ran the ball 33 times on Saturday for 170 yards. Travion Henderson, a holdover. He led the offense with 65 yards on just 8 carries. Quinshon Judkins, who, of course, transferred from Ole Miss and was all SEC, had the most carries at 13 carries. Judkins and, of course, freshman James Peoples both scored a touchdown versus Akron. So while the Buckeyes, of course, are expected to make a big run for the Big Ten title, so is Big Ten newcomer Oregon. And they beat Idaho, but the vibe I got from Idaho fans this weekend, they were not happy with the 24-14 score. I think they thought maybe they should have scored a lot more and blown them out by a lot more. Even Dan Lanning commented, hey, this looked different than people probably thought it was gonna, but he gave a lot of credit to Idaho and says they didn't give us anything for free. It was a hard-fought game. Now, statistically speaking, Dylan Gabriel, who is on a short list for the Heisman, didn't hurt himself at all as far as the Heisman is concerned. 41 of 49 passing, 380 yards, completed 85% of his passes. It was very Bo Nix-like, to be honest with you, with the high completion percentage. Well, it didn't hurt him there in the Heisman, but he maybe got hurt a little bit in the game. He was flexing his hand. A lot of people noticed that. And Dan Lanning says he doesn't think it's anything to worry about. So, Ducks fans, love to hear from you again. You can hit us up on Twitter or on the YouTube comments as well. Speaking of Twitter, Talk Big Ten, I always peruse Twitter, like to retweet some of the more amusing things and collect some of the best, if you will, on Tuesdays. So we have Tuesday tweets. That's coming up next right here on Locked On Big Ten. 5 Hour Energy gives you just a jolt of energy when you need it. Whether you're driving late at night, the road's kind of blurring on you, or maybe you've had a big power lunch at work and then you got to sit at your desk and like at 3, 4 o'clock, you're just like, whoa, I'm sleepy. Need a blast of energy. 5 Hour Energy can help you out. It's a shot of energy, help you stay alert and finish your tasks or whatever you need to do. Maybe a little boost before you work out. Did you know 5 Hour Energy has 0 sugar? It's very portable size, very easy to bring along. And 5 Hour Energy has a website with a lot of flavors like watermelon, tropical burst, grape, berry. I like those berry ones. They taste good. But you can try them all, and you can mix and match when you order a 12-pack or 24-pack. That's a cool feature as well. So go to their website It's 5hourenergy.com. That's the number 5, 5hourenergy.com. And get some 5-Hour Energy product today. You can use my promo code, Locked On CFB, to receive 20% off your order. Now, this is only valid through September 30th. And on one order, it cannot be used on other promotions. And the code is not good on subscription orders. But get yourself started here. Go to 5hourenergy.com today. Once again, that is 5hourenergy.com. Time now for Tuesday Tweets. It's something we always like to do, obviously, on Tuesdays. If you're new to the program, in our final segment each and every day, we always have something for you. Mondays, we do our Big Ten, our top 10 Big Ten observations from the weekend. Tuesday Tweets. Wednesday, we'll do power rankings. Usually during the season, we'll rank the teams in order of how powerful and good I think they are, regardless of what the rankings and standings say. Thursdays, we always look ahead to the Big Ten schedule with Big Ten Classics and the live programming, so you can help plan your day for the weekend on things you want to watch. And on Fridays, we do Pigskin Picks, which we did very well. By the way, the Big Ten did very well. 17-1. Not bad. Minnesota, the only loss. All right. So we'll check out the tweets. Let's put them on screen. If you're audio only, I'll describe them in detail as best I can. Here's one from @BigTenFootball. Victory in Vegas as the 23rd ranked USC Trojans get a dramatic win over 13th ranked LSU. Hashtag Big Ten Football. That's right. Big Ten over SEC. Take that, SEC fans. 27-20 over LSU. That was an awesome game. A lot of fun. Let's see what we probably got a couple more on that. Yeah. Oh yeah. Forgot about this one. It's also from that Big Ten Conference. This is a picture of Kyron Hudson making that one-handed grab for USC in the first half against LSU. Little Odell Beckham Jr.-ish. If I don't you agree with that? It's incredible. It's an incredible catch. All right, here is one from Rich of the Crowd. It is an old shot of back in the old days. Looking at Colorado, the Colorado Buffaloes. That's Nebraska. Tom Osborne. It's Colorado week. It is Colorado. That's right. Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, Shedeur Sanders, Shiloh Sanders, the whole Sanders family coming into Lincoln. Be ready. We'll be previewing that big time this week here on Locked On Big Ten. And speaking of the Huskers from @Big Ten Network, 3-time Super Bowl champ and Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes is loving what he's seeing out of his Mahomie, Dylan Raiola, the freshman quarterback. A lot of people say that that when you look at Raiola, you think of Patrick Mahomes. Similarities in their game, their look. They work out together. Mahomes tweeted out about that little cuzzo. Yeah, for sure. He is impressive. Here is from On3 Iowa quarterback Cade McNamara today versus Illinois State. 21-31, 251 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. I mean, we're talking these are Iowa offensive numbers. Iowa 40-0. Are you kidding me? When's the last time that's happened? Here is Iowa scoring 5 touchdowns and tallying 40 points in their season opener. What a start for #Hawkeyes football. That was actually tweeted out by Fox Sports. And there's a couple of highlight packages there. Here is a little superimposed Tim Lester, offensive coordinator, and Kirk Ferentz. It's a funny video. I suggest you play it of them dancing. Not in real life. Obviously, it's been doctored up, but it's great. Says at Heavens FX entering September with no offense, or with an offense, I should say, that can actually score. Yeah, 40 points. Iowa. They're all going crazy with the offense there. They love it. So do I. All right, there was a point of the Michigan game. Here's a picture of Sharon Moore biting his nails. Looking concerned. Michigan was only up over Fresno 16-10 at this point with 9 minutes to go. And here he is with a fake quote from @Cleve_Lando. Hey, where's that little ball nerd that gave us all the answers last year? Connor Stallions, of course. No longer there. Yeah, there was some concern. But you know what was at this point of the game, from the final 9 minutes, that Michigan started to look like Michigan from last year. ended up winning 30-10. And the exclamation point was this play, a highlight from at Swanky Wolverine. He took the 86-yard pick six from Will Johnson. It says the Will Johnson pick six is even better with the Titanic music, which is playing underneath it if you want to play it. Very inspirational. Here's another one from at Swanky. Victory Sunday, 1-0. Picture from The Office with Michigan gear. And an overhead shot from at James Yoder. Isn't she lovely? The overhead shot of the big house with all the lights on and all the people in it. Fantastic. Always enjoy Tuesday tweets. Again, you put something out there, I like it. I'll put it out there on Tuesday tweets each and every week. We got a lot to do. First of all, number one, if you haven't yet, I always ask you guys to subscribe. It's free. No other information is required. And then you and I are in the Big Ten loop every day. This is going to be the biggest Big Ten season of all time. Don't be left out. Be with us here on Locked On Big Ten. You can interact with me on Twitter or X at TalkBig10, 10. Our website, TalkBig10.com. That's the number 10. All of our podcasts go there. After this one, go check out another one. Check out yesterday's. It was awesome. We did a live one on Saturday, which is now recorded right after the Michigan game, and you could go check that out as well. And while you're at our website, TalkBig10.com, go ahead and get yourself some merchandise from your favorite Big Ten football team. But subscribe and follow and share this podcast with your friends. Let them know we're out here each and every day, and you get the latest episode of Locked On Big Ten as soon as it becomes available each and every day. And you can get a second listen with our friends at Locked On College Football. They have a podcast, covers everything right there. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. And a big week. So we're going into week 2. We are going to talk about Texas going into Michigan. Can Michigan hang with Texas after what we did see? We're going to talk about Colorado coming into Lincoln and taking on Nebraska. Those are 2 big ones on Saturday. We're all over it right here. Cover all 18 teams here on Locked On Big Ten. Thank you for your visit here today. Can't wait till we talk again next time. I'm Craig Sheeman for Locked On Big Ten.